Grab a glass of milk and a hot Queen Maeve Pride lasagna. It's time to sit down and enjoy the First Boys spin-off that'll have you never looking at the word Jumanji the same. Jumanji! In this turbo-sized video, we'll be taking a look at the first 3 episodes, their connection to the boys, and tons of little Easter eggs that are easy to miss. And you'll want to stick around till the end of the video where I go over the season trailers looking for clues on what might happen next. Now make sure to enroll and hit that like button. This season is gonna be wild.
I'm super focused.
I'm super inclusive.
I'm super abled.
It's that time of year again where soups are drafted to cities and traded around like professional athletes. This is 8 years ago prior to the events of The Boys. A-Train is the #1 ranked student at Godolphin University, where familiar face Madeline Stillwell, who had her face melted by Homelander at the end of Season 1, welcomes him to the Seven. A-Train's success wouldn't be possible without the help of Professor Richard Brinkerhoff, the chair of the crime-fighting department at Godolphin U. This guy has trained some of the world's best-known soups, including Queen Maeve, the Deep, and future member of the Seven, Golden Boy, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. We'll get into him in a bit. Godolphin University was founded by Vought International in 1965 and named after Patrick Godolphin, an homage to John Godolphin from the comics, who's basically a child molesting Charles Xavier. If you go to godolphinuniversity.com, you can actually take a tour of the campus, guided by Maverick, your invisible RA who we meet briefly in the show. I love Translucent Statue being non-existent because he's invisible, and according to a Twitter post, a year's tuition is $70,000, so I won't be attending anytime soon. It's 8 years ago we meet young Marie Moreau, who's trying to recreate Kendall Jenner's iconic Instagram pose with her sister Annabeth. Unbeknownst to her, her parents gave her Compound V as a child, but it seemed to have no effect on her, at least not until now. Puberty has triggered her ability to control blood, and she accidentally kills both her mother and father, leaving her little sister to think she's a monster. The fate of Annabeth is a bit of a mystery. Marie's drive to become the best soup there is and eventually join the Seven is tied to her need to prove to her sister that she's not a monster. All we know about Annabeth was that she was put into foster care, and Marie hasn't heard from her since. If we're to believe TV host Haley Miller, Annabeth said she wanted nothing to do with Marie, but I think there's a lot more here. It's entirely possible that if Marie's parents gave Marie Compound V, they would have also given it to Annabeth, so Marie could have a sister out there with soup powers. It could even be someone we already know in the Boys universe. The extent of Marie's powers aren't quite known either. Not only can she control her own blood, but those of others, seen when she manipulates the blood of the woman almost killed by Andre. I'm also guessing that she has pretty good regenerative powers, since every time she wants to use her powers, she has to cut her palms. I'm interested as the series goes on to see how this power can be used in cool and unexpected ways. Now, Marie has spent the last 8 years in this Vought-run foster school, aptly named the Red River Institute. Here we can see Marie's obsession with soups, with posters for Queen Maeve and Golden Boy on her wall. She even has a Godolphin U calendar with the date she's set to hear whether or not she got in. This place even has trauma circles, where one guy talks about when Starlight came forward, it gave him the strength to speak his truth, a reference to Starlight highlighting the abuses she faced while being a member of the Seven, particularly the deep sexual assault. Marie sees a young girl being taken to the Elmira Adult Rehab Center, a place we'll learn the students at Red River go when they don't get adopted. And according to Marie's teacher, this is not a place you want to go. It's run by Vought's Global Wellness Division, which runs all sorts of medical and rehab facilities across the country. It's where A-Train and Termite went to deal with their addictions, and a commercial for it was released back in 2021 on Vought News.
Where do you turn to fill that void? Heroin enemas?
You better believe there's soup porn with such fascinating titles as Deep does her in the blowhole and Maeve cheats on her cuck boyfriend with Homebanger. Those of you with a keen eye will remember Homebanger from Season 2 as one of Lamplighter's favorite actors. The GenV YouTube page has also come out with a safe sex PSA, and from there we learn of soupporn.com, which is an actual website you can purchase your favorite toys. I can't even show you half the things on there. Marie finds out she's been accepted, and she doesn't want to screw up this opportunity opportunity because it could be a way for her to erase the past and make a name for herself. We get this awesome orientation video where Dean Indira Shetty welcomes new students. No word yet if she's named after executive producer of the show, Pavan Shetty. Godolphin is everything you'd expect from a university in the Vought universe. Not only can you take important classes such as hero ethics, but also understanding branding, because a soup is really only as good as his brand. Although there are probably more avenues one can pursue at God U, the two main ones focused on in the first 3 episodes are crime fighting at the Lamplighter School of Crime Fighting, and performing arts, whose building is named after our favorite chimp-loving soup, Crimson Countess.
Chimps don't cry.
Of great importance is the school's ranking system, which social media director Jeff says is determined by a mix of talent, skill, brand awareness, and social mentions. These rankings are determined by the school's trustees, so plenty of room for them to be manipulated. Currently, Luke Reardon, aka Golden Boy, is the school's #1 ranked student and is set to join the 7. Remember, after the events of Season 3 of The Boys, Starlight and Queen Maeve are out, leaving room open for new members. Speaking of which, it looks like the epic battle that took place between Soldier Boy and the boys at Vought Tower has been covered up to look like a Russian plot. The events of GenV take place after Season 3 of The Boys and before Season 4, so we get these fun little tidbits like Homelander's lawyer saying he, quote, stood his ground. This, of course, a reference to Homelander murdering someone in cold blood at the end of the season, so it looks like it's landed him in a lot of legal trouble. Honestly, I just hope they don't discontinue the Brave Maeve vegetarian pride lasagna. Marie arrives at the Godolphin dorms, and I can't help but think it's secretly a prison. Students have to walk through these metal detecting sort of machines, and the windows can't open nor can be broken. Here we meet Emma, aka Little Cricket, a soup who has the ability to get extremely small, although to do so she has to purge. Like Marie, we haven't been shown the real extent of her powers just yet. Like, just how small can she get before she dies? And if she can get small, can she also get big? We know when she eats, she gets larger, but can she get infinitely larger, or does she plateau at a point? Emma has a dwindling YouTube fanbase, and it's clear when mean girl Justine betrays her by telling everyone her secret that she purges to get small, that she cares a lot about what other people think of her. When offered a reality show that will delve into the dark world of eating disorders, she rejects it. That's not the person she wants to be. So expect her character arc this season to revolve around her discovering who she really is. Our first real look at Golden Boy sees him flaming up and ripping the arms off the incredible Steve, who, thank God, incredibly has the ability to reattach his arms. Golden Boy gets so hot that his clothes melt off, leaving his ding-dong exposed for all to see.
It's like a big fiery sea cucumber.
Later, Brink will show Golden Boy a mock-up of a special suit worth millions that won't burn under his intense heat. A suit for when he joins the 7. Hell, he can even have Maeve or Starlight's old apartment. This should be amazing news for Golden Boy, something he's worked at his entire life. But just take a look at his face. Something isn't right, and this something may have to do with his brother Sam. He hears his brother's voice calling to him as if he were in a dream. We'll later learn that Sam was killed a few years ago, or so we think. Golden Boy tells his girlfriend Kate that he's been having nightmares again, nightmares that include trees. This is a reference to the wallpaper found in the secret underground facility underneath Godolphin, a facility where Golden Boy's brother has been held for the past few years and painful experiments tested on him. Meanwhile, Marie gets her schedule and finds out she hasn't been accepted into Brink's first-year Intro to Crime Fighting, a mandatory class for anyone majoring in that field. This is where she meets Jordan, Brink's head TA, who has the ability to morph into male and female versions of herself, or himself, or theyself. I actually don't know what pronouns to use. The reasoning for her rejection is pretty simple. There are other kids who have solved murders or have millions of followers. What does Marie have? Nothing. And it wouldn't be a normal day at Godolphin until your teacher comes out and shoots you. Jordan apparently has steel skin, and we learn that Ashley Barrett, now CEO of Vought, has asked Brink to speak at a retreat in Sun Valley. We'll see Ashley throughout the first 3 episodes, mainly to keep tabs on the Dean and her handling of the Woods. A place, if discovered, could mean ruin and potentially their own own deaths. Now Marie pleads to Brink to let her in the class, but he's not budging. Only 5 kids a year score a city contract and the rest sing and dance for Vought. He tells her to just enjoy being in performing arts. Now Marie is understandably upset. This is something she's wanted for the past 8 years, and now it's being dashed because of one man's decision. As she walks back to her dorm that night, we get a glimpse of a vandalized Soldier Boy statue, a man who was deemed a terrorist by Vought in Season 3 of The Boys. Here Marie gets to show off how she can use her blood as a lasso in stopping a crazed, methed out tweaker, or so we think. Working alongside Andre, who has telekinetic powers, the two are able to stop him, but this sets forth a chain of events that will forever change their lives. This Chance encounter, get it, his name is Chance, has Andre invite Marie for a night on the town with Golden Boy and his friends, something that would see her going past curfew. Remember, she doesn't want to screw up this opportunity, but then again, how often do you get to hang out with Golden Boy and the popular kids? At the top of Vought Tower, Marie has her first real interaction with Golden Boy. He opens up about his brother passing and she about proving to her sister that she's not a monster. But it's Golden Boy who leaves her with this profound statement.
Being a hero is, it's not what you think. You know, if you're gonna do this, make sure you do it for you.
I think this is really important for Marie, as she seems to enjoy getting swept up in the celebrity as the episodes go on. Will she let power and fame get in the way of why she wanted to become a superhero in the first place? Meanwhile, a lonely Emma has called over Liam, who has her get small and hang off his dick. And of course, my parents walked in on me as soon as this scene was playing. I also like the recommended videos on our YouTube page with titles such as I ate Vought-a-burger for 30 days straight, or how to make 20k a week with Voughtcoin. With Golden Boy leaving Godolphin soon, it means there will be a post open for the #1 ranking. Jordan says she'll never be #1 because a sex-changing soup doesn't look good for certain parts of America, and Andre doesn't want to be #1 because it means he'll have to work with his dad. Andre's dad is Polarity, a former member of the Seven who wants nothing more than his son to follow in his footsteps. Polarity also happens to be on the board of trustees. The tension between him and his son is high. It seems Polarity cares more about the fame associated with becoming a soup than actually saving people.
That should be you up there.
Andre and Marie's night on the town goes awry when Andre tries to impress a girl by floating a coin he's shaped into a bird into another dude's drink. But when he's suddenly pushed, the coin pierces a woman's neck, almost killing her. Thank God Marie is there, who can control the woman's blood loss until paramedics arrive. This is all recorded on video, making Marie a hero. And my award for favorite background actor goes to this guy. He's doing great, bring him back. The next day, Marie is called into Brink's office where she believes she'll be congratulated for saving a woman's life and thus accepted into the crime fighting class. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Her getting caught on camera jeopardized Andre, Jordan, and Golden Boy, who were with her that night, all hopped up on drugs. If one of them had been caught, their careers would be over, and just think of the thousands of lives that would go unsaved should these brave heroes be #cancelled. So Marie is expelled, a sacrifice Brink must make to protect his favorite students.
Being a hero, a real hero, it's about sacrifice.
But who told Brink that all of them were out past curfew? In episode 3, it's implied that Andre told his father what happened that night, and his father was the one who went to Brink. Remember, Polarity will go to any lengths to protect his son and his future. Bonus points if you saw the campus Vought-a-burger in the background.
Vought-a-burger. Put our meat burger in your mouth hole.
In Golden Boy's dorm, he has another one of his nightmares, but this time his little brother Sam says it's not a dream. We'll later meet Sam, and I'm wondering if his powers allow him to communicate via these dreams. Sam needs his help. Now, we don't know what really happens between now and when Golden Boy burns Brink to death. The only real clue comes in episode 2 when Andre finds Golden Boy's message. Golden Boy has somehow found out that Brink was conducting experiments not only on his brother, who is still alive, but Golden Boy himself. Just how exactly Golden Boy has no recollection of this remains to be seen. Sam must have told Golden Boy all of this, and perhaps even shown him via these quote-unquote dreams, leading Golden Boy to kill Brink, an event which Marie witnesses firsthand. And of course we can't have any witnesses, so our Golden Boy turns not so golden and hunts Marie down. But it's actually Jordan who goes toe-to-toe with him in an epic battle that eventually makes its way outside, where Andre is promoting A-Train's turbo Turbo Rush.
I wouldn't pour this on my dick if it cured cancer.
Andre is the only one who can calm Golden Boy down, but before Golden Boy self-destructs himself, he says something to Andre we only hear about in episode 2. Your dad has it, a reference to Golden Boy putting his phone in Polarity's statue. It takes no time at all for Vought to twist Golden Boy's murder of Brink as a chronic drug user experiencing a full psychotic break. The only thing Ashley seems concerned about is the $45 million worth of Golden Boy merch, which is now pretty much useless. Dean Shetty ensures Ashley that everything at Godolphin is under control. After all, she was the one who mitigated the disaster that was the Compound V scandal. It's Marie and Andre who come out on top, being seen as heroes who took on the murderous Golden Boy. Jordan, however, due to her sexuality, was brushed aside, even though she was the one responsible for stopping Golden Boy when things could have gone much worse. Thus, the trustees have shifted the rankings, putting Andre as number 1, demoting Jordan to number 5, and Marie to number 8.
Hashtag Black Girl Magic.
Jeff, the Godolphin media director, even hooks Marie up with a phone since a soup of her caliber will want to start building followers. A makeshift memorial for Professor Brink has popped up on campus where Kate finds a student named Rufus making fun of her. He's got the Trumpian Keep America Safe hat, and his friend has a Homelander Sorry Snowflake shirt, which we saw many of his followers wear during his rallies. Meanwhile, Andre asks his dad if Golden Boy said anything to him before he went crazy. After all, one of Golden Boy's final cryptic messages to Andre was, "Your dad has it." Polarity has no idea what he's talking about, so Andre enlists the help of Marie to get to the bottom of what happened. But Marie has learned her lesson. She has to stay out of trouble. Remember, it was her going out with them that got her in this mess in the first place, and she doesn't want to mess it up. In acting class, it's our favorite Dawn of the Seven director, Adam Bork, who's in director purgatory for exposing himself to Minka Kelly. Emma thinks she's gonna partner up with her dick-hanging buddy, only to find out he's moved on to a new girl. And if that embarrassment wasn't enough, Emma will team up with Justine, who ends up using her for juicy gossip on our YouTube channel. I don't blame you, Justine, I'd do it too for those sweet, sweet subscribers. Because of Marie's heroic exploits defending Godolphin from Golden Boy and her surge in popularity, Marie is allowed to audit the junior year classes. She'll even have one-on-one meetings with the dean that sort of act like therapy sessions. However, I'm sure the dean has ulterior motives. I wonder if she knows a little more about Marie's past and her sister than she's letting on. Jordan also takes a moment to dig into Marie, pissed that she took credit for her fighting Golden Boy. But let's be real, Jordan is no saint. She was the one who rejected Marie from Brink's crime-fighting class and was totally fine with her being expelled. But even though she did that, she asks Marie to do the right thing and tell the truth. Tonight, when she has her live interview, tell the world it was Jordan who fought off Golden Boy. On the television, we get 2 brief glimpses of the news that show a Robert Singer campaign ad, a character we saw in cahoots with Vought and his running mate, the notorious head popper Victoria Newman. No doubt if they win, I think it won't be long before President Singer is killed and the secret soup Victoria takes over as president. We also learn that Homelander is on trial. What we don't know yet is whether or not this trial will be resolved before The Boys Season 4, or if it will be a plot point of the season. Emma divulges that her real hero is Queen Maeve. She wants to be an inspiration to other kids out there, not this attention-seeking fame whore. Perhaps this is why she is so insistent on agreeing to Andre's plans to infiltrate the woods. She wants to prove that she has what it takes to be a real hero. I also love that we get to see a glimpse of Vought Plus, Vaught's own streaming service, which has all the termite titles you could ask for. Dean Shetty has access to the woods. In fact, she seems to be the one in charge as further experiments are conducted on Sam. We can see from the security camera footage that there are several other inmates here. Later, when Andre accesses Brink's computer, we'll see the names of 13 individuals currently imprisoned there. I like how Sam's room has posters of Payback and This Means Noir, 2 films created by famous producer The Legend, who we met in Season 3. Andre enlists the help of Kate to get to the bottom of what happened to Golden Boy, so they start in his dorm room where everything has been cleared out, even his dildos. Not to mention the room smells like bleach. It seems someone may be trying to cover their tracks. I love this Crimson Countess poster, which translates from Latin to "Remember to be bold." Hidden in his father's dick is Golden Boy's phone, in which Golden Boy has left a message for Andre. His brother is still alive in a place called the Woods underneath the school, and Brink was a part of it. Sam was alleged to have killed himself at Sage Grove, the psych hospital we saw the boys infiltrate in Season 2. In fact, we'll see a flashback to that hospital and a brief cameo from Love Sausage. Marie reads her script in preparation for her live interview. It just goes to show you how manipulative and overreaching Vought is. Everything down to these interviews are completely scripted so they can control the narrative. motive. But the real dilemma here is if Marie will go off script and tell the truth that it was Jordan who really saved the day. This is a major character moment for her. She can do the right thing and tell the truth, but she doesn't. Marie is enjoying this newfound fame, and it could lead to her finding her sister, even though the interviewer told her they tried to contact her and apparently she wanted nothing to do with her. As Dean Shetty says, that could be total BS. I also love how they dressed Marie up in blood red, and she has these swirling red backgrounds during her photo shoot. They are going to market and brand the hell out of this girl. And Polarity is super pissed about this. Marie is stealing the spotlight from his son, who has gone MIA. That's because he's breaking into Brink's office. A group of intruders grab the dean's laptop, but not before Andre gets proof that Sam is still alive. He follows the group downstairs and witnesses the murder of a janitor. Now, these intruders have a special device that incapacitates Andre. Because Supes have a wider range of hearing, it's programmed to affect only them. But Kate comes to save the day, who uses her power of persuasion, which she calls pushing, to have the guards perform fellatio on a flashlight. But Kate's power comes at a price. She can only use it so much before convulsing. When she awakes, Andre is there taking care of her, and in a few moments he'll take care of her another way by engaging in some soup sex with his best friend's ex.
If you're ever in doubt, the most heroic decision is to abstain from superpowered sexual activity altogether.
Nerd!
3 years ago, we get a flashback at Sage Grove. Like Golden Boy, Sam was given Compound V, but he also happens to be schizophrenic. Whether this was a result of the Compound V is yet to be known, as well as the extent of Sam's powers. We know he has super strength and the ability to contact others through dreamlike visions. I'm really curious to see why he was taken to the woods, and why they're conducting these experiments on him. Marie warms up to Dean Shetty, who invites her as a guest to tonight's Memorial Gala and Silent Auction, a silent auction that has such prizes as Vitality products, A Night with the Deep, and signed A-Train trainers. We even learn that the Dean had a daughter, past tense, but we're not sure if this means she was killed or is simply no longer in her life. I love how there's already a missing janitors poster. The gala really reinforces how her students are pressured by their parents into being who they really don't want to be. Polarity pushes Andre, Tiffany wants Emma to have her own reality show, and Jordan's father wants him to embrace being a boy.
You can be a boy forever if you want.
Without realizing his sex isn't what defines him.
I've never changed, Dad. I've always just been me.
I will say it's gotta be wild to be able to experience sex both as a man and woman. With Emma all on board to help Andre rescue Golden Boy's brother, she shrinks down to small size and gains access to his cell. But Sam is a schizophrenic, and upon seeing her, questions if she's real.
Are you real?
And if that isn't bad enough, one of his favorite films is Waterworld, one of the biggest box office flops ever. The movie's message, however, resonates with him, and probably would with Emma too. It's a story about being alone and finding one's own humanity. And these two definitely feel alone. Back up top, however, Andre makes the mistake of telling his dad about the woods. Mr. Anderson knows all about it and warns his son not to say another word. Looking into it could get himself killed. In an effort to appease Sam, Emma tells him that she was sent there by his brother, but doesn't disclose that his brother is dead, something that will undoubtedly come and bite her in the ass later on, especially if these two end up being a thing. Was it just me, or were they vibing? Up top, Marie finally divulges that she was responsible for killing her family, but to her surprise, she isn't the only one with a sob story. Kate didn't realize that her powers had manifested, and while on a camping trip told her brother to go away and never come back, and that's exactly what he did. His body was never found. From that moment on, her parents never touched her again. Marie also realizes that Dean Shetty is being pretty shitty and only using her to make a buck, aka fundraise, so it seems her newfound friendship with her isn't as genuine as first thought. Amid a stack of Queen Maeve and Payback comics, Emma watches as Sam is electrocuted and his cell is raided. The first electrocution comes from the electrical floor, however the second seems to be operated by this device that can electrocute Sam himself, unless of course this guard is wearing some sort of anti-electrical boots. Perhaps they've implanted Sam with their own version of a shock collar in an effort to control him. Emma leaps to the rescue and climbs into the guard's ear, simulating what happens to me every time I hear Nickelback. It's not long before more guards pour in, and it seems as though the two of them will be caught. Will she and Sam be saved by Andre and the crew? The last time we saw Andre, he rounded up Marie, Kate, and Jordan, telling them that Emma's in trouble, so maybe they're able to break them all out. But to get a better idea of what we can expect this season, we now delve into our trailer sleuthing section. Keep in mind, I won't be going going over every shot, just the ones that pertain to information we got in the first 3 episodes. It looks as though we have more people escaping the woods, seen here by this woman with laser eyes, wearing the same standard gray sweater and sweatpants as the inmates, and it also looks as though we'll see other inmates. Andre shows us that their dorm rooms are actually prisons, as he telekinetically lowers these metal bars over the windows. In a later shot, we'll see students struggle to get out of the dorms before these giant metal doors close on them. Here's Victoria Newman telling someone, quote, "This is your shot at real power." We'll see her at some sort of campaign event with both supporters and detractors. It looks as though it's an event put on by Vought News with Cameron Coleman acting as interviewer. Things seem to get out of control here when one of the attendees uses her scream power, no doubt on some sort of anti-Soup bigot. Here's Dean Shetty overlooking a bunch of dead guards. Could Sam have gone psycho mode and kill all of them, taking Emma with him? Or maybe Emma makes her way out through this drain pipe. Notice her little shoe here. We know that they do make it out, because here they are making out in front of a polarity crane game. Looks like Dean Shetty finds the shoe, meaning she'll be able to determine Emma was involved. I love this. Andre uses his powers to telekinetically throw a keg at Rufus, that Homelander supporter who hates Kate. Later, Marie tells Jordan that she exploded someone's dick, and judging by the shot just before that, it's of a bloody Rufus, so maybe he has that to look forward to. Here we have Sam looking like a student at the dorms. I have no idea how they'd get him to be a student unless he was supposed to be hiding here after the escape. And is this just me, or is this a Marie and Jordan kiss? Here we have Marie using her powers on Sam. It looks as though Sam has tracked down the doctor who did experiments on him and is wanting some good old-fashioned payback, something Jordan, Andre, and Marie won't let him get away with. Now, I don't think we've seen this shot of Golden Boy. Are we seeing another flashback, or perhaps a clone of him, a result of the experiments done to him? Now, I'm super excited about this show and hope you'll stick with me as I break down the entire season. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...